Joining us now, Florida Congresswoman Kat Cammack. Congresswoman, you've been all over violence and crime in our country. When you hear that their DA is fighting with his prosecutors and they don't trust each other about the truth and the veracity of what they're saying about the cases they're working on, what does this say to you?
It tells me that they're more interested in a political outcome than actually doing the job that they were hired to do. And I say hired deliberately because even though he is an elected official, he is hired to do a job which is prosecute and go after violent criminals and keep them behind bars where they belong, not where they can commit multiple murders, which we saw in this case. But, you know, Liz, I'm not really surprised. This guy was elected with 53% of his donors coming from the Bay Area and wealthy individuals like George Soros and the Netflix CEO. No surprise that he didn't have the backing of law enforcement or everyday people who have to deal with the fallout of rising crime.
Yeah, we hear inside people in California tell us, you know, these guys live in gated communities, right? People on the street, the innocent citizens are getting hit. And how is that not a civil rights violation for what they're doing to them? Okay, there's a video going viral on Facebook. People are cheering this. A Chicago man with a black belt. Congressman, he pinned down an alleged thief who punched a 7-Eleven worker and held him down until police arrived. He held that guy in a headlock. Look at that. And also this video, NYPD searching for multiple suspects seen in the video involved in a string of burglaries on Staten Island, New York. The thieves stole a Rolls Royce, but the owner thwarted these guys with a remote kill switch to turn off the engine. Then he used a built-in tracking device to find his car in Newark, New Jersey. Now, these suspects are still on the loose. So this is what everyday Americans are seeing out on the street.
Exactly. And that is why you are seeing people from all walks of life lining up to support conservatives who support law enforcement, who support law and order. Because what we have now is a bunch of limousine liberals who want nothing more than to defund police and put liberal DAs in positions where they are letting people out of jail on nonsense charges. I mean, this is ridiculous. And with crime rising in some of the toughest cities in the country that have some of the toughest gun control, we now see the Senate passing a major hurdle, quite frankly, advancing a bill that is going to do nothing more than empower criminals and take weapons to protect themselves out of the hands of law-abiding citizens. It's all nonsense. It's all the more reason why we're taking back the House in November.
Okay.
And again, this is something that we are going to win on because crime is rising and people have had enough.
That bill, though, has $300 million for school safety. It's got red flag laws. That's what the debate is about. It could come this weekend. You know, people on the other side, even Republicans broke a filibuster to push it forward, led by Mitch McConnell. We're going to stay on that story with you. We got to move on to the Supreme Court protests. There's action here. Yes. This is over abortion. California Nicholas Ross Key, he was caught earlier this month near Justice Brett Kavanaugh's home in Maryland, allegedly planning to assassinate Justice Kavanaugh. He's pleaded not guilty in federal court. He had in his possession when he was arrested a Glock 17 pistol, a tactical knife, pepper spray, zip ties, and a crowbar. No decision from the Supreme Court today on abortion. I want your reaction to Senators Ted Cruz and Ron Johnson. Why is the DOJ not stopping illegal protests at the justices' homes? Watch.
The organized left, they're going to engage in riots. They're going to engage in violence. We're going to see a reprise, I fear, of the Black Lives Matter and the Antifa riots, where they're going to try to use political violence to advance their ends, and the Department of Justice needs to step in and stop them.
It is outrageous that you don't have the Biden administration condemning this intimidation, that you don't have Democrats speaking out against it. And if you remember Chuck Schumer on the steps of the Supreme Court threatening Justice Gorsuch and Kavanaugh, saying you've unleashed the whirlwind, you will pay the price. You won't even know what hit you. Can you imagine if a Republican congressional leader had uttered those words, issued that threat against a liberal justice? First of all, that Republican congressperson would not be in Congress.
Congresswoman, sit tight. I want you to listen to this. The Democrat Secretary of State in Michigan, she's saying on camera it was terrifying to have protesters outside of her house demonstrating about election results in the state of Michigan. Watch this.
For a full 45 minutes, all that stood between my family and those on the street was one neighborhood security guard, and it wasn't just my house. It were my neighbors who also have kids in the middle of the night hearing these things shouted outside their windows. It was terrifying.
So why is it okay to protest at the homes of the justices?
It's not. Political violence has no place in our society whatsoever. Hard stop. I don't care what side you're on. Political violence and threats has absolutely no place. And I am so sick and tired of this being a partisan issue today. The Democrats need to step up. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Joe Biden, they need to all say this is unacceptable. You cannot do this.
But they're
We will
focused
not
on
do
the
this.
Capitol riots hearings. We understand the Capitol riots roundly condemned as execrable, but they're focused on that, but not this. Why
Exactly.
why the silence on this?
It's because it's hypocrisy at its finest, and it flies in the face of the narrative of what they're trying to push in the sham January 6th committee. They can't do it on one side and not on the other. They just are so lost in their own web of lies that they can't see straight. We need to condemn the violence outright. It's unacceptable. It's time to get back to some actual civility in this country on this issue.
Congresswoman Cammack, come back soon. It's good to see you.